Okay, so I've just come across a speech made by Keir Starmer, and I don't know what point I came in at it. I've got an 11-minute video of it, but I think I missed still. I was listening to it and I couldn't understand a word that was being said. It was talking about the Hillsborough law, and I was like, I don't know what that is. And then some other law. This means absolutely nothing to me. I could be saying like, oh yeah, the Malvern Hills law, and then we made the Scottish alleyway law, and then the Birmingham Dyke law, and these mean absolutely nothing to me. I have no idea like what I don't know what he was saying, and I was trying to understand it, and I've gone back to the beginning. Sometimes you understand something only if you listen to it from the beginning, and I thought I would just replay what I'm hearing, because I don't follow politics. I've never followed politics. I don't give a shit about politics, and because I just think it's a bunch of people who pretend to be smarter than they actually are. I used to believe that they were smarter 10 years ago, and then I was like, well, I'm God, and these people aren't helping me. These people aren't doing anything to help me. They're destroying my ability to be able to afford to buy my own home by allowing banks to just loan out billions of pounds to billions of people so that I can't get on the housing market, and only stupid idiots who are happy to be a slave for 20 years can get onto the housing market. I'm pissed off with everything they've done, and they haven't done anything to help me. And as time has gone on, they've just been proving themselves to be more mentally ill than I used to believe. But I don't know. I want to just talk about it.
The world has become markedly more turbulent in recent weeks. Events are moving fast.
Recent weeks? I would say it's become more turbulent in months. Okay, yes, we in the last few weeks, something's happened in Iran, so I guess we're more aware of how bad Islam is. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that this turbulence has been happening for at least a year now, maybe 2 or 3. It's been getting worse. More and more people are noticing it.
And in moments like this, what matters most is being clear about the values and the interests that guide us.
Okay, that's good. That's good, because I want to know what guides I know nothing about the government. I'm confused about like whose side they're on, what they're actually doing, what they're supporting, because to me it just feels like they're just supporting the bankers and some sort of leftist elite that's siding with Islamic regimes, and I have no idea what the not the British people, but what the British government is doing. It just means, to me, it seems like it's just full of mentally ill people who are robots.
Stances change. The United Kingdom has a long history. Our values were not improvised. They were built patiently over time. And while we are pragmatic in how we pursue our interests, we are resolute in defending those values when it matters. So let me
It's true. What he's saying here is true. I can't argue it. The values of people and the human species has just built up over and over time. But I don't know what the government is doing to try and protect our way of life, our culture, our values. I don't know what they're doing, because to me, the puppet governments just seem to be a bunch of avatars that are talking nonsense. I don't know what. No, we don't want to come out of the European humanitarian order, even though I have no clue what that actually means, and it just means absolutely nothing to me. Just people shaking their heads and talking, and I don't hate Nigel Farage. I think he's one of the better ones, but the others just seem like puppets to me. Like and there's the Lowe, I can't remember, Rupert Lowe is in something, I don't know.
With the United States, the UK and the US are close allies and close partners. That relationship matters profoundly. Not just to
I think we're mostly allies because we both speak the same language, and it's hard to unite with other nations when a lot of them are constantly translating things into different languages, and so our language barrier makes our. And also, America seems to have a more need to go to war. I think Canada and Australia seem to be very like they're not famous for going to war, whereas America and UK are. So I feel like we have more of a similarity between them. But the crisis isn't about teaming with America. It's about actually recognizing what the crisis is. And I have no idea what the government stand for. I know what the people stand, or what people like me stand for, but I have no idea what the government stand for. And it's amazing how the government can talk like this give no information but say so much.
But to the prosperity and the stability that people here depend upon. Under President Trump, as under previous presidents, we're determined to keep that relationship strong, constructive, and focused on results.
That to me just sounds like your principle is just relying on America to fix everything.
Is delivering. Through sustained engagement, we've seen significant US investment into the UK economy, running into hundreds of billions of pounds, supporting growth, skills and jobs right across the country.
I think when you're talking about that, you're talking about things like McDonald's. Is that American company? I'm sure there's loads of American companies that are thriving in England, and it's not that they're giving us money, it's more that they're allowing their products or their companies to thrive. And I think if America are doing anything for the world, it's that they are making lots of computers and AI. Like, I don't know where this Gemini thing is coming from, this AI image maker Gemini, but it's probably being funded by some sort of an American company. The internet is like a worldwide thing. You know, there's this whole thing about Greenland. I've heard that it's because there's minerals in Greenland that the tech giants want, and technically if the tech giants are creating something to help the whole world, why is it that American company should pay for these minerals when these minerals are, when it's going towards creating an AI system or a computer system that is helping the whole world? I see America helping in that respect, but I have no idea like which companies are actually in place in which areas, and yeah, but I want to know if the government actually recognise that Islam is taking over England. That's the problem. I don't care about our American allies. I care about, do they recognise that England is being taken over by Islamic people?
On defence, nuclear capability and intelligence remains as close and effective as anywhere in the world, keeping Britain safe in an increasingly dangerous environment.
Well, tell us all the people who've been murdered.
We secured good trading terms in key sectors, including cars, steel, aerospace and life sciences, protecting British jobs and manufacturers.
Well, it's not really the jobs that we want, it's the economy.
That we do. Because it delivers concrete outcomes.
What approach are you doing? That's why we take the approach that we do. What approach are you taking? Because I don't actually know anything about you. I've hardly even seen you. To be honest, if you are not living in England and you are just hiding in some bunker somewhere, I wouldn't be surprised, because I know absolutely nothing about your government. I've heard a couple of stupid things online that just seem like a bunch of puppets talking, and I've heard, maybe I'm not adding the right thing, but everything about the government just doesn't seem existent. What approach are you having? This is why we do the approach that we are doing. This is why I, in my daily life, make the food in the way that I do. And this is why I cook what I cook. I mean, in reality, I'm not saying what I cook or how I cook or why I'm doing it or when I cook. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying that this is why I take the approach that I do, because it's important to have a healthy lifestyle and eat proper, appropriate stuff. I'm not telling you that I'm just eating sweets and shit, but I'm going to say that I'm eating proper stuff and I'm cooking in the way that I'm cooking and I'm doing what I'm doing, because this is the reason why I take the approach that I take. What the fuck are you talking about?
In the national interest.
What national interest? I think your national interest is bringing Islamic people here and working in their interest.
President Trump, my team is in daily contact with all the key figures in his administration. These relationships matter. They deliver concrete outcomes in the national interest.
What are the concrete outcomes?
Sure.
Tell me one thing the Labour has achieved other than... I don't even know. I literally have no clue. If you were to tell me what the Labour government has achieved, I think you've doubled everything, all the price, all the cost in the shops. You've what else have you achieved? You've managed the 60,000 immigrants have come in the last year, or illegal immigrants have come across the boats in the last year. £20 billion has been given to housing foreigners. I mean, this is what you've achieved. Absolutely shit. You've achieved the benefit of all the foreigners who live here and now calling themselves British people just because they've been here and they're now living off the government. They're living off the benefit system. I have no idea what you've achieved, nor do I know what your actual your stuff is. What have you actually done? What if you were to leave office right now? What can you say you've achieved other than fucking up the country?
Alliances are not about pretending differences don't exist. They are about addressing them directly, respectfully, and with a focus on results.
So how have you addressed it? How have you addressed the Islamic takeover that's happening? I don't know how I don't know anything he's done. I have not seen anything. Like, I don't watch the stupid TV because there's nothing really on it, and I don't even know when you would find out about this. All my information is taken from the internet, from Instagram and stuff like that, and I'm not seeing anything that tells me what the government is doing. I don't know what their government are doing. I think the government are giving thousands of pounds, or £700 every single month to a bunch of people who shouldn't be here, and they're housing Somalians, and they're allowing bankers to just loan out trillions of pounds so that everyone becomes poor because they have to spend they have to work for 30 years just to be able to afford to buy a property. I mean, this is what they've achieved, and okay, this is both of the governments were doing that because they've only been in power for a year, and this problem has been growing for the last long time.
The right way to approach an issue of this seriousness is through calm discussion between allies. And let's be clear, the security of Greenland matters. And it will matter more as climate change reshapes the Arctic.
If he's talking about Greenland as in like the whole Earth, that makes sense. But if he's talking about Greenland as in a tiny land that has a couple of 100,000 people on it or something, the importance of Greenland matters. And our country is, again, why are you ignoring our country?
Routes open and strategic competition intensifies. The High North will require greater attention, greater investment, and stronger collective defence.
The High North will achieve great. Let's try it again. I'm going to try and copy everything that he says.
As sea routes open and strategic competition intensifies.
As sea routes open, as strategic intensified competition intensifies. I think that's what he said.
The High North will require greater attention, greater investment.
The High North will require greater attention, greater investment,
and stronger collective defence.
And stronger collective defence. What about England? What about England?
The United States will be central to that effort, and the UK stands ready to contribute fully alongside our allies through NATO.
Oh, I can't. I literally cannot. I cannot hear what he's saying and then repeat what he's saying. Why can't I do that? Something about America. Lost it all.
Greater investment.
Greater investment.
And stronger collective
defence for Greenland.
The United States will be central to that effort.
United States will be.
And the UK stands ready to contribute fully alongside our allies.
UK is going to contribute to fighting Greenland, even though our own economy is falling apart and we don't have any money to house our own people. And why is he thinking about Greenland?
But there is a principle here.
There is a principle here
Cannot be set aside.
That cannot be set aside.
Because it goes to the heart.
Of how stable and trusted international something works. Any decision
about the future status
of the marine life
to the people of Greenland,
belongs to the people of Greenland and the people of Denmark. So is this what the basic principles of our principle are, which is to protect Greenland and Denmark from and put money into their growth and their stability? What about England? Stop it! This is
right is fundamental.
It's fundamental,
and we support it. Denmark is a close ally of the United Kingdom.
Denmark is a close ally.
A proud NATO
Shoulder
member.
to shoulder with us. They stand shoulder to shoulder with us. in recent decades.
Alliances endure
Alliances and
because they're built on respect and partnership. Not.
he's just avoiding the topic. The problem is Islamic growth in England and this Muslim takeover of illegal immigrants and people who should not be here coming here and taking over our country, taking our jobs, destroying our way of life, having very dumb principles and dumb beliefs, and just needing social services, and the government needing to set up all these. If you find out how many services there are that the government are creating but only benefit the poor and stupid, because I have no idea what services they create that actually like help the smart. Okay, I heard of some magazines and newspapers. Like sometimes they give money to newspapers, and I guess that helps the community because anyone can read the newspapers. But a lot of the services are things like, I don't know, if you've got an alcoholic problem, or if you need children, social services is a big one, and domestic abuse, violence. But a lot of people who end up in domestic situations end up in domestic situations because they don't get a job, they're not smart enough to be able to look after themselves, so they turn to a partner who starts abusing them. Hence, the types of people who are mostly, it's not just that. I know it's not just that, but the bulk of people who are in domestic situations are people who rely on others to look after them. And if you're someone who relies on others to look after them, it'd be better to, if they're not from this country, if they're not meant to be in this country, then they probably shouldn't be in this country, and it'd be better to start getting them dependent on themselves rather than on a partner who might just end up abusing them. And if they do end up abusing them, you're just going to give more money to help the abuse. I'm thinking about all the services that are offered in my community and in my area, and other than the badminton, I like the badminton. There's a badminton court that I can use, and a climbing court, but I don't have the energy to use the climbing court. I can't use any of them. Most of them are just, it's for people with kids, it's for people who have, single parents, it's for domestic or something. I don't even know about that because I haven't really asked, but most of the services are based to help the underachiever, basically, or the ones that need most help. And what help is there for the ones that are just that are the top or something? It's complicated, but
that is why I said the use of tariffs against allies is completely wrong. It is not the right way to resolve differences within an alliance. Nor is it helpful to frame efforts to strengthen Greenland's security.
So he's talking about tariffs and that being a bad thing, and he's not agreeing with it, but he's not really giving any kind of solution to how to not get tariffs. Or why is this talking about Greenland? I don't understand why this is talking about Greenland. I'm trying to figure out why he's avoiding the topic of the Islamic takeover, why he's not talking about Muslims, why he's not talking about the number of mosques that are being created, and this Sharia law, and the fact that you cannot protect your own people if there's a whole bunch of people in England who think English people are kuffars or kufas or whatever the word is, infidels, and you should be stoned for cheating on your husband or something. You're bringing in all these people that have bad beliefs, and you're not addressing this. You're constantly just talking about other things. I'm sure there was.
First, when supply chains fracture, it's small businesses and working people who absorb the shock.
Yeah, when you increase taxes as well.
It's rarely those with the most power who pay the price.
Recognise
that is why
that?
This government's approach is rooted in a simple belief that we must use every tool of government, domestic and international,
What does that even mean?
to fight for the interests of ordinary people.
We must use every tool in the government to fight for the domestic and for the abused, and what does that even mean? What tools have you got in there? Going to get like a sort of a hammer and a nail file or something. I don't know what kind of tools have you got. What are you even talking about? They use words that just don't make any sense. If I was running a country, I wouldn't be saying we need to get every tool that we can get and we're going to use it. What the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? Acting
economic
government.
stability, so
Taking
that inflation is controlled.
acting government. It means acting government. I don't know what that means. It means taking responsibility. Well, yeah, you're going to take responsibility for the growth of the Islam and this huge tax pay, this amount of tax money. You're trying to help kids out of poverty when really all you're doing is putting kids into poverty if they only have two children in their family, because these the families that have 2 children are going to have to pay a higher tax so that you can take money off them and give it to families that have 3 or more children. And that to me is actually putting more kids in poverty, because 80% of the population have 2 children or more, and 20% have more than 2 kids. So you're making 80% poorer because you're taking more tax money off of them, and you're going to give it to families that have had more kids. I mean, are you going to take responsibility for your own actions? They say one thing, we're taking responsibility. That's what it means. But are they actually doing that? What tools have you got?
Interest rates come down and family budgets are protected.
Is it?
It means stepping in where markets fail, strengthening resilience, and ensuring that global shocks do not always land.
Strengthening resilience. You know, we need a resilience to you. We need resilience to your government. That's what we need to do. So that can be on both sides.
Safe places, the people least able to withstand them. That's why we've taken action to reduce energy bills, to freeze rail fares and prescription charges.
I heard energy bills are actually at the highest they've ever been. To be honest, I don't even know, because I don't even use electricity. I've kind of given up on the fact that I can afford heating, so I'm just using hot water
Tackling
bottles.
the cost of living today also means engagement beyond our borders.
That's my heating.
It requires shaping the world around us, not retreating from it. It requires strong alliances.
Shaping the world around us. No, I think your version of shaping the world around us is just inviting all the immigrants to come and do whatever they want.
And rules that reduce uncertainty rather than amplify it. That is why our commitment to international law and to alliances founded on trust is not abstract or ideological. It's
Well, it is, because international law, that could mean anything. International law is Sharia law. You know, Sharia law is an international law. What this what
practical. It's about stability,
predictability, and fairness.
The conditions that keep prices down.
Well, we don't want to be fair towards all the other countries that are coming in and aren't matching in with us. Or fairness could be anything. Should we be fair to all the people from Afghanistan who want to live here?
And economies resilient. That is what active government looks like.
That is what active government looks like. No, active government. What an active government looks like is where people in the country know what the government is actually doing. If you're being active, why is it that I have no clue what you're doing other than fucking the country up?
Engaged abroad and always focused on protecting the people that we serve.
You're not protecting the people. The country's getting more and more dangerous.
A pragmatic country. We look for agreement. We believe in partnership.
You don't look
We
for an
prefer solution.
it's just talking nonsense. That's all. It's not any action. It's not changing anything. And I have no idea what the government do. They're just a bunch of people who think they know what they're doing, or think that they're doing something when really they're just taking a paycheck and acting like a puppet.